everybody, it's Anna. Time for the Thursday card in this week's tarot story. So today we have the Seven of Pentacles reversed. So I connect the number 7 to discernment or making wise choices. And Pentacles are connected to the physical realm. So they're about something you are manifesting in a way you can see and taste and touch, and that other people can interact with, right? So this card shows a man pausing. He's been taking care of this plant. The plant looks beautiful. It's thriving. It's lush. He's pausing though, as though he's thinking. He's considering something, he's reflecting. And so when this card is upright, it often suggests we're being called to reflect on what we are manifesting. And basically, I think of this as you're just sort of checking in saying, does this really match what I want? Do I need to make any changes? Like basically you're kind of checking in with your compass, because at this point there's a lot of momentum in what you're creating. See, the plant has a lot of momentum. So it's easy to kind of just let the momentum carry you rather than pausing and saying, okay, it looks good. Other people probably are very complimentary of this, right? But is there anything I need to change or vary? So it's a moment just to check in with your emotional compass, with your intuitive compass, and ask questions and make whatever variations you think are necessary. But when the card comes reversed, it often tells me not to do that. Like, don't pause in your work, just because it can actually result in second guessing, where you're kind of every step you're going, was this right? Is this wrong? Which is the mind. That's not reflection. That's not intuitive reflection. That's the mind being overly vigilant or perfectionistic. And that will work. That will slow us down. That's interrupting the flow of energy, right? So in this reversal, then I think it's saying, don't pause, trust yourself. Trust yourself. You're following your intuitive hit. Don't pause. Don't stop and ask, where's it going? What's it going to do? Is this right? Is this good enough? All those questions are the mind challenging a manifestation that is in process, right? It's not time. I don't know if it's ever really time to ask if something's good enough. It's not the point at which we're challenging what we're doing, right? And actually, I think this makes a lot of sense, because yesterday's card was the Ace of Pentacles reversed, which is about, the way I read it yesterday, it's about like kind of not trusting ourselves entirely with what we are creating, like not even knowing what we want to create, and kind of not engaging the question. So we don't know the answer, right? And I talked about how, you have to sit with the question long enough. You have to sit with, what is it I'm here to create? What makes me excited? What turns me on? And then when you get that intuitive hit, when something comes up for you, you don't question it. You just follow it. Even if it doesn't make really any linear sense. There's so many times you get a hit on something that you think, well, what's the precursor to that? Like, what's the plan for that? Where did that come from? That's what you don't want to do. If you're going to ask the question, what am I here to evoke? And you give it to your intuition, and your intuition gives you a hit, you follow the hit, right? You don't ask questions. Now, it's not to say at some point this card might be upright. This is the 7th step, though. We're at the very first step, right? You don't do this for a long time. For a long time, you are following this compass. Your mind doesn't yet know what it's going to look like. The mind needs to learn to be okay with that. So much of the spiritual journey for body and heart intuitives is about the mind walking blind and walking in faith. And so when the mind overly questions, overly, scrutinizes what we're doing, it's not only working too hard, it's also putting the brakes on us. It's taking energy away from the focus and the intention of caretaking for this manifestation and diverting it. So because we're walking in a path the mind doesn't know, and maybe the mind doesn't really want to do that. It's kind of quietly or subtly sabotaging us. So the reversal here is, when the mind wants to ask questions, you want to just acknowledge that we don't know yet. The mind it's not going to know for a little while, but you can still check in with the intuition and say, yep, this is what we're going to do. We're just going to start taking these steps that match what the intuition's asking for. The guidance there, we're just going to take the steps and follow along and let that energy of excitement, hopefulness, whatever that hit was, that's our compass now. And we're trusting that, and we're not doubting it. We're going to trust it, not doubt it, not pause to question it, undermine it, let it move forward. So I feel like this whole spread's really about the mind walking in a deeper way, in a more intentional way, in a more faithful way, and following the intuition, and like letting the old structures go so that something new can emerge. So that's our Thursday card. See you tomorrow for our last one. Bye.